Mayfield was thought to not get a fifth-year contract. I thought he was an average to below average quarterback. Definitely not playing that way, and it's a coaching change. We all know what needs to go on in New York, and we talked about drafting a quarterback. But even still, I believe Sam Darnold have given him a chance for a team, especially him being young, to say, hey, we want to see if we can get this guy to reach his full potential and put him in a position that we think will work for him. Because since the Jets got healthy on the outside and this team is continuing to scrap, Sam Darnold has looked pretty good in the past couple games this year with his talent, being able to throw the rock, and we know the athleticism is there as well. He'll be a starter next year.
Graziano, quickly, with Cincinnati winning last night, the Jets are now assured of either the first or second pick in the draft. So assuming it isn't first, which would be Trevor Lawrence, do we have any sense yet as to what they plan to do with that, with Justin Fields potentially sitting there available?
Not really, because we don't know who's going to coach the team yet, and whoever they bring in as head coach, assuming they do make that move, will have input on this decision, whether it's stay put at 2 and take Justin Fields, or a Zach Wilson from BYU, who's playing tonight in the Boca Raton Bowl on ESPN. That's a guy that could factor into that. Or stick with Darnold. Darnold is 6 months younger than Joe Burrow. Like, it's not crazy to think that there's growth potential there, and that having 2 first-round picks and 5 picks in the first 99 could help them build something around him. So we have to see who the coach is and what decisions they make about how to proceed at that position, starting with their evaluation of Sam Darnold.
They could pick up his fifth-year option, which would mean they'd control him for the next 2 years. Jeff Saturday, why are you shaking your head?
I'm going to try to give you some hope, Greeny. I know that your heart is broken after this last weekend. I don't know what these two clowns are talking about. Let me tell you about Sam Darnold in his 36 starts in the NFL. 37 interceptions, 20 fumbles, which he lost 7 of. Hey, he loves his completion percentage. He just don't care what team he's throwing it to. You know what I mean? So when you have this thing, I'm not worried about the upside. Can he throw it? Absolutely. He's athletic? Absolutely. I'm not sure if he's colorblind, but look, we play for the green team, man. Like, let's keep it on our side. That's what I care about. Offensive linemen want you to protect the freaking ball. That's all I care about. I don't care how good you can be in 10 years. I want you to protect the ball today. I don't know what Swagoo and Dan are talking about. My goodness, you ain't going to take Justin Fields if he's there.
Jeff,
you better get out of here, Swagoo.
We just watched it happen. We're watching it happen right now, Jeff Saturday. We're watching it happen in Cleveland right now. We're watching Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee. New system, new scheme, better player. Like, I'm coming around. You know me. I love to be negative and be like, get Sam Darnold the hell out of there and find the next best thing. You know me as well as anybody. Man, when I look at the things that transpired in the league, I got to pay attention to what's happening, Jeff. Stefanski got Baker Mayfield looking real good for the Cleveland Browns right now.
Listen, he got him looking good, Swagoo. He got him looking good because they can run the freaking rock. My problem with you is Dan Orlovsky done got to you, bro. He texted you or said something. That $100 has changed you, man. You got to protect the ball. I don't care how good you can be. Protect the ball, Swagoo. Come on, man. I can't lose you. I knew what
Baker did last year.
I have to leave it here. I have to leave game losing streak and a dogfight just to try to hold on to the division. And I think a lot of people, Marcus, who were watching that game were thinking, who are these guys? And what happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers? We think we know. What is the answer to those questions, Marcus?
One, they were the schedule that they had earlier in this year helped them, and there were questions. I got to give Mina Kimes credit. She asked about this offense early in the season, like, was it explosive enough? Were they able to do what they needed to do in order to be a legit contender? And now we're seeing all of this stuff come to a head. Look, I want to give Cincinnati like a ton of respect from a defensive standpoint. They said the hell with it. We gonna make Ben Roethlisberger beat us with these little dink and dunk passes. We gonna get up in these people's face. They not gonna attempt to run the football, even though Benny Snell had a little success averaging 4.7 yards a carry. But when you look at this in this totality over the past few weeks, no defense is threatened by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody's playing them like they have like it's just it's whatever. We know what you're gonna do. We know that you want to get the ball out of your hand fast, and we gonna stop it. We either gonna stop it or we gonna give up big plays. The Washington football team, we saw that defensive line super disruptive, getting their hands up, batting balls, and we've seen that trend continue. The Cincinnati Bengals defense last night looked as good as any defense in the NFL, and it's because nothing about the Pittsburgh Steelers worried them, and they got into their face and said, well, you can't beat us with this vanilla, archaic type offense that you trying to run, and dinking and dunking is not going to get it done against us. And we saw a bad team, for all intents and purposes, in the Bengals come out and just totally have disregard for what the Pittsburgh Steelers could do up front, offensive line-wise.
You can say it. There's no reason not to say it. The Bengals had 2 wins and they were playing their third-string quarterback, but they pushed the Steeler offense around. Jeff, so that's what it sounded like. Show us what it looked like. Show us some tape on just what he's talking about with that defense and the way they were disrespecting the Steelers.
Yeah, just like Swagoo said, right? Lack of physicality asked Big Ben to do too much. And you saw it early and often in this game. And when you see the tape, look, they got a little bunch formation on the left. They get exactly what they want. Green, they get the corner to jump outside. You have Claypool going deep. You're going to have Juju Smith-Schuster coming across the middle. It should be to Claypool. No, instead it's a quick pass. Bam! Von Bell gives him chin music. Why? I mean, of course, he's near the logo, so that's a big deal. But obviously, you got to be a better player than that. You're clearing out. You have an underneath route. Again, rushing 3, dropping 8. Alexander sitting right in the hole. He's reading the quarterback's eyes. Ben wants to get the ball gone so quick. There's no patience. He's trying to deliver it, but he's forcing it. And again, this all goes back to lack of physicality for the Pittsburgh offense. Their offensive line is ranked in the bottom 5 in pass win rate and rushing win rate. So what does that mean? Everything's on Big Ben. Man, he's averaged 44 passes a game over the last 4 games. That's entirely too much. And that's coming off of elbow surgery. I mean, like, what are you asking this guy to do? It's just ridiculous. And at the end of the day, there's being too much asked of Ben, and he can't keep up with what they did at the beginning of the season. There's no way to do it.
And so, Dan Graziano, where does this leave this extraordinarily proud franchise with this future Hall of Fame quarterback, a great coach, and again, 3 weeks ago they were 11-0. Where do they sit right now, and what does it look like in the near-term future?
Yeah, Greeny, if you think it looks bad for the Steelers right now, wait till the offseason when they have to figure out what to do with Ben Roethlisberger. Adam Schefter reporting yesterday that he wants to come back for another year. Well, if he does, he's going to cost them $41.25 million against the salary cap in a year where the salary cap is going down. How do they fix that? They might have to cut other guys that are more valuable at this point, given their contracts. They may have to extend Ben Roethlisberger's contract in order to drop that number. These are very, very difficult choices that face the Steelers, especially if they can't get things turned around and go into the offseason feeling good about Roethlisberger and the way he's playing and the core around him. It's a big couple of weeks coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers because how they perform and how he performs, talking about Ben Roethlisberger, will determine the direction of their franchise in 2021 and beyond.
Yeah, they play Indianapolis this coming week. If they win that game, they win the division and all is generally okay. If they lose, then that last game of the season at Cleveland would probably set up as a game for the division, and that could change everything. So there is still time to get this ship righted, but last night was the night they were supposed to do it. All right, so this panic in Pittsburgh, I think we all have only one solution on this show, and that is pancakes. Shut him down as a keeper. That is a Tuesday staple.
Get some of this. Get some of that. Throw them out the club. Swagoo, throw them out the club. You see them? 1 pancake, 2 pancakes, 3 pancakes.